Mr. Narvaez, thank you for your time and also for being with teleSUR this morning.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Hello, Fidel. So we have to talk regarding this subject, which is I think, the paramount news today. So first, how this decision of not extradite Assange to the U.S. could change his case?
Well, this is a very important and long-awaited decision because basically, for now, is stopping the extradition of Julian Assange to the United States. It should be considered a victory for him, victory for his legal team, and I very much hope that it won't be reversed in the second instance, because as we know, there's going to be an appeal from behalf of the US prosecutors. It's a victory, however, it's very worrying that the only reason why Julian Assange was not extradited today is because his fragile health condition and the high risk that he has of committing suicide if he is extradited to the appalling and very oppressive prison regime in the United States. We should celebrate that the extradition was, for now, stopped today. Yes.
So we have another question for you, Fidel. Under your consideration, which were the events that led to the mental health argument to overrule the extradition petition?
Well, the fragile and very worrying emotional well-being of Julian Assange is a fact that is diagnosed by the highest specialist in the United Kingdom. They provided extensive evidence of his psychological situation when the extradition hearings took place several months ago. He was being assessed not only by private specialists in this country, but also by the United Nations specialists on behalf of the United Nations Repertoire for Torture. And it's the result of so many years of persecution, defamation, and psychological torture. The persecution against Julian lasts already 10 years. 10 years he hasn't been free. He spent nearly 7 years inside the Ecuadorian embassy in very, very hard, difficult conditions, because the embassy is not meant for living. It's an office space. And in the last year of his stay, he was under basically harassment from the new government of Ecuador, who wanted to get rid of him, who wanted to break him down, who wanted to him to come out of his own accord. Julian was isolated, uncommunicated. He was not allowed to have visitors. So this condition is the result of all that, plus nearly 20 months already in a high security prison under very, very oppressive conditions. So you can see Julian as a strong person. He has a strong personality, but 10 years of being persecuted by the most powerful enemies on earth, it has obviously very damaging consequences for him.
Yes, we know this is an important decision that also decriminalize the journalistic activity, because that's one of the main spots, the main subjects surrounding or regarding this case of Assange. The fact that the U.S. is criminalization of this journalistic activity. But in this case, aside of what can come from the future, and also the future U.S. appeal, because that's a probability, what comes next for Assange after this decision?
Well, immediately, I think his defense team is requesting for a bail so he can continue the case, defending himself in freedom. And he deserves to be already free. He just won his case, and it will be outrageous if the British judicial system insists in keeping him in prison. He's not serving any sentence. He has not been sentenced guilty of anything. He should be defending himself in freedom. The appeal will go to a superior court. A team of judges will look at the appeal. That could take several months, but I remain very hopeful that today's decision won't be reversed. But as you say, this is a political case. This is much more than about a person, about a journalist, although it's very, very important his fate, his situation. But today, the judge, in her statement, basically criminalized journalism. She upheld most of the perverse allegations coming from the US prosecutors. And every journalist around the world should be worried about that. If it wasn't for the fragile health condition of Julian Assange, he would be already extradited for committing no crime, basically for publishing. If somebody dares to publish something that the United States do not like, they will be in danger of being extradited to the United States and submitted to very, very harsh conditions.
Yes, I personally believe that this decision makes more human the case, because it's a political case that everyone sees, but this is marking a human side. So Fidel, we thank you for your presence here from the South, and also for your time to teleSUR English.
Thank you very much.